Let's see what we have for Shipwreck's slightly uncomfortable segment this week.
Okay.
Here we go. I don't think we did this one yet. This is from Jamal.
Okay.
This Shipwreck, given all the economic problems we have seen in this country and globally, people are furloughed and out of work. Do you ever feel guilty about talking about your game electronic purchases on the show? Or do you ever not talk about a purchase because you worry about how you may come off? I know there may have been episodes in the past where Wombat has talked about having to save for a new fridge or his daughter's bar mitzvah, while you seem to have infinite funds to buy cabins, MacBooks, and seemingly every major video game release and children's movie.
You having trouble reading this one?
The children's movie got me. Children's movie the week it is released. I guess it's a lot less uncomfortable if I start laughing in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. What say you, Shipwreck, to this accusation?
That's a lot to
take in,
to respond to. There was a lot of questions and children's movies.
Do you ever feel guilty about talking about your purchases? You may feel that people feel bad that they can't afford nice things.
I don't think so. Not incredibly, at least. Like, I don't know. There's a little bit of like, oh, should I bring this up? But I'm not going to hide that. Yes, I am successful. My wife is successful. We like to buy things that we enjoy. Right.
And we got to talk about something
that I can talk about on the show.
Right.
So,
okay.
What else was there to that? I feel like there was more to that. That was it.
That was it. Do you ever feel guilty about talking about your purchases that you may come across as I don't know, not sympathetic to people's plights? Anyway,
I don't understand how me having the means and money that I've earned buying something is not sympathetic.
Right. Well,
I understand, like, we are cheap ass gamer.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I don't like a deal still. Right. Like I go to thrift stores and flea markets, and that's where I like to do a lot of shopping. So. Right.
Well, so somebody made me feel guilty. I posted that I got this TV, and somebody like said something to me on Twitter about it. Now, I didn't block them, but I did mute them.
I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like.
Right. This Twitter account is for my amusement. If you're not amused by it, then you shouldn't be following it. That's basically the way. And same with the podcast, and same with anything else. Like, if it's a problem, then there's a simple solution. Don't follow me. Don't listen to me. Anyway, Jamal also writes in Ship and says, please let Shipwreck know that this is not my personal feeling, just a question crafted for maximum squirm factor. Sounds like he needs to work harder for next time.
No, that's good. I mean, it's a good question. I think that's a good question. I'm just giving my honest opinion that that
I don't know. I feel like we could have done better with the question.
Could have done better.
How wet is your ass right now, Ship? Did it get a little sweaty?
A little bit, but in general, I'm just hot right now.
Shipwreck, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Israel or Palestine?
Which one?
There we go.
You don't have to answer that one.
There's pluses and minuses on both sides.
Oh,
there's fine people on both sides.
Yeah,
don't answer that one. Like, don't. I'm 100% serious, and I agree with
you.
Who
are you going with, Wombat?
I'm not answering it either.
Okay.
All right, Wombat, it's your turn for your tales from retail.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right, I haven't been doing a good job of crossing off the ones that I've used, so I'm going to go with this one and hope that we didn't do it already. This is from Captain Nick.
Okay.
He says, this happened a long time ago, back when the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare launched on Xbox 360. He went to Best Buy to grab it, and he said that the salesperson that he asked the game for seemed to be like pretty pissed off already, and just like seemed to be in a bad mood. So he had a gift card that he was going to use to pay for the game, and he handed them $20 and a debit card. And basically, the woman made a mistake and didn't charge the guy enough money. What would you do, Wombat? Would you tell her that they made a mistake?
Oh, I see. So it's an error in my favor?
It was an error in your favor. The woman was in a bad mood, and she was like, she asked the woman, like, here's the specific. He said he asked the lady if he could pay her $20 cash and then pay the balance via his debit card. The game was $70. This is Canada. And so she was supposed to deduct $50 from the debit card, but instead she deducted $20. She got a little confused with the double action.
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like this would be a difficult error to make, especially nowadays where you scan everything.
Okay, so, that's not the question. The question is, what do you do?
The question is, you just go, because honestly, I probably wouldn't notice either until I got in the car. I'm not going or turning around and going back.
Okay, here's what he did. He said he shoved the debit card in as fast as he could, punched in his PIN number, and walked out of that store with a $30 discount and a big shit-eating grin on his face. Now, he said when he told his friends about what happened, they all yelled at him and told him that he was a thief. Because he's in Canada, right? People are like, have manners and morals there. But he's to his defense, he says the woman was kind of like being grumpy, and
it's a two-way situation. So if I gave someone my debit card and they gave me the game, put it in a bag, put through in the receipt, I would probably leave. Right, I wouldn't notice that.
It was before. It was before he tried. I guess he saw it on the debit card reader before and then he's like, "All right."
Because honestly, I wouldn't notice. Right. That's just me, especially if I was.
What if you did notice? I think that's the question.
That's the question.
That's the question.
So
if you're in the same
situation,
you noticed it.
I mean, honestly, I would probably be like, "Are you?" I would be like, "Are you sure this is right?" Is what I would say. I would go, "Are you sure this is correct?" And
give them a chance. Give him a chance.
Give him a chance. Be like, "Are you sure this is correct?"
What if the clerk was especially bitchy to you?
If the clerk was being rude to me, then I'd be like, "Well, I tried." If I gave it like
no, but you didn't try though. You didn't. You don't even say if the clerk is bitchy. Would you say?
I would always say, "Are you sure this is correct?"
Okay.
If I knew, if it was just I scanned it and I left and it turned out to be wrong, I feel like this is one of those situations that you can't just ask somebody what they would do. It has to be presented to them in real life, and then we can like see what they did. Yeah, I think I would probably do, most likely, because I'm not a terrible person, I would probably do the right thing in the moment.
You'd like to think so, but you never know. It's like these people who like they say like, oh, if I had $1 million, or I had $10 million, I would.
I keep it all to myself, and no one gets a damn thing. What is it? I also I had my own tale from retail over the weekend anyway.
What?
So we ordered a Mother's Day brunch for my wife, which I paid for 4 days in advance. Okay, to make sure that everything was going to be right.
Yeah.
You call, you order, you go through the whole thing. It was a pick up and take home. They call it, brunch in bed. I placed the order. I go there that morning. Actually, Laura came with me to go get the food because I knew it was going to be like a lot to carry.
Right.
So we go, we get everything.
Here, carry your Mother's Day brunch.
Yeah. Hey, you do what you have to do. She actually wanted to go. I'll say that much because she likes.
She came to the store. Okay, go.
So we go, we pick everything up, we come home.
Right.
She sits on the couch. The kids are with her.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be so. Everything looked presentation wise like they put stuff in baskets and a rows and glass jars. And it was very, very fancy. And we open it up, and the one thing that the entree my wife wanted the most was not there.
Oh no!
And they replaced it with deep fried French toast stuffed with peanut butter and bananas, which doesn't sound terrible to maybe me and you.
Right.
But there's nothing my wife likes less than heavily deep fried foods,
right,
bananas,
right,
and peanut butter.
So it was comically horrible for her.
It was comically horrible. So I was like, and the thing that they forgot was the thing she wanted the most.
Right. So what'd you do?
I called the restaurant and I said, I hate to say this, but I think you gave me the wrong order.
Right.
I have this banana French toast, not the slow cooked brisket hash that I was supposed to get. Yeah, exactly. So, and it's a barbecue place.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. The guy on the phone's like, well, we're really sorry. I can have someone bring it to you. It might take an hour.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, because I knew it wasn't for me. It was for Mother's Day. I'm like, you know what? I could be there in 10 minutes. I could pick it up.
Okay.
So I left. I picked it up.
Okay.
And when I got there, I said, hi, I just called. I goes, oh yeah, like I got it right here for you. And he had it and he put it in a bag and he threw in a piece of candy bar cheesecake for my troubles. And I drove back home and I brought it. And even though all the food I ate was cold because I missed all of it, my wife had the food that she wanted.
Well, it's Mother's Day, not Wombat's Day.
Exactly.
But it's Wombat's month. How does that work?
Trust me, I say that every Mother's Day. I don't understand this.
It's one day of the month. We can switch it over to your wife.
I don't buy it. I didn't like that. But yeah, so that was the whole situation.
Excellent.
It worked out in the end.
Good.